I made a video about this, but I really have no interest in talking about Joseph Martelli with 21st Century Man and a whole bunch of other people. They're doing that tonight. Um, I have no interest in that. And like I said in the video, I've actually I actually was planning on not talking about Joseph Martelli after the first of this new year. Um, I was like, yeah, January 1st, I'm done talking about him, but it isn't that easy. Um, which is frustrating. Um, it really upsets me that he's still harassing Ashley. But it's a little bit of a two-way street. If she stopped talking about him, he wouldn't have anything to talk about her about, except for like rehashing all this shit from like all the other times she talked about him, whatever. Because Joseph will use a screen cap or a video from like 2-3 years ago to keep the drama going. That's what he does. So really, once you start shit with him, it never fucking ends. Um. So. Um. The best thing you can do is just attempt to try not to talk to him and just ignore everything he says no matter what. Um, for me, I pretty much had enough of him when he actually came here. Um, that whole period of time he was here was just horrible. Um, I was supposed to go do something fun that weekend. I think it was that weekend. Um, Weekend doesn't really mean anything to me anymore. But there was a farming expo that I was supposed to go to. Just because it was supposed to be fun. There was gonna be cows and stuff, and you got to milk them and shit like that. Um, which I eventually got to do on my own, um, which was fun. And I made a video after I did it where I made a joke where I referenced this anime called Silver Spoon, and like nobody fucking got the joke. So um, I got like accused of like being like bestiality or something. Um, which was funny. I didn't even get mad about it. I thought it was funny because they obviously didn't understand that I was purposely being, you know, um, I was purposely, but whatever. Uh, so him coming up really was aggravating because it caused a lot of problems that I'm still kind of like dealing with. It it set off kind of a whole bunch of drama with a couple of my neighbors, like that lady who lives slightly down the street from me, and the guy across the driveway. Um, which is I didn't need that. I didn't need that shit. Um, but kind of died down after a while. I mean, the shit with the guy across the driveway kind of like goes away and then it comes back and then it goes away again. Um, but the landlord's involved with that now. She said that he doesn't have any friends in the building, so he can't come over here, or even it's actually illegal for him to talk over into the yard. Apparently, well, according to the landlord, that she's had issues with him for a long time, since before I even lived here. Um, so she said that she would be more than willing to get a restraining order against him as the property owner of this building. And she even talked about possibly evicting people who allow him on the property, but she's not exactly sure. She said she wanted to do that, but she wasn't exactly sure about the legality of it. So, um, she wanted to do shit like that. When it came to uh, friggin' Joshua Graves too, but she really couldn't do anything about it in the end. So she never really did anything about it, except for he's he's been gone. He's not. He doesn't stay over there. He doesn't stay in the tent back there anymore because it's like winter now, and I haven't seen him around town. I haven't seen Joshua Graves around town. He hasn't tried to interact with me. He hasn't mouthed off to me from across the street. He hasn't. I haven't heard anybody say that he's talking shit about me around town. None of that. So, um, I don't really give a shit about him anymore. And the neighbor across the driveway hasn't tried interacting with me at all. If he sees this, I don't fucking care if he sees it or not. But pretty much, dude, I talk about anybody who enters my life. So you don't want me talking about you. Um, don't enter my life, and I won't fucking talk about you. Um, well, I won't talk about anything new. I won't have anything new to talk about. So stay out of my life, and I won't have anything new to talk about. And all I'll have to talk about is the shit that already happened. So let the past be the past. Pretty much is what I'm saying. Like, I don't care. Leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. But what's already happened has already happened, and people are always asking me about it. So whatever. Um. So, anyways, back to talking about Joseph. Him coming here was like strike number one for me. Um. And the fact that he thought that he won was just that was just it's just fucking ridiculous. Um, he has to be fucking delusional if he think that he won when he came here. Um, uh, and just him just continuing to harass me after that is just like strike number two, because he clearly lost. He I think he realizes that um, that he lost, and he's just trying to like cover it up for that. Um, let's see. Uh, so the second strike was him just trying to perpetuate things. Um, I've tried multiple fucking times to just walk away. Um, and he'll bring up some text message or video comment or phone call from like anywhere up to a year ago, even longer than that, and he'll uh, he'll just keep trying to keep things going, and it's very annoying. So that's his second strike. Now his third strike was talking shit about me to Brett Keane to the point that I felt like I had to try to get Brett Keane to not give Joseph a platform, because every single time Brett Keane gives Joseph Martelli a platform, all Joseph does is use that platform to talk shit about me, to talk shit about Ashley, to talk shit about, the Amazing Atheist and all them. Um, but in all reality, um, talking to Brett Keane about the drama with the Drunken Peasants and the Amazing Atheist and whatever, that's the proper people to be talking about when it comes to, interacting with Brett Keane. That I don't care about. Like, the drama between me and Joseph and me and Ashley and me, Ashley, and Joseph, that is between the three of us. And I just kind of felt like Joseph was trying to use Brett and Brett's audience as a personal army against me and Ashley, which isn't cool. Um, you know, so I've never tried to use the Drunken Peasants or the Drunken Peasants audience to hash out to as a personal army against Joseph because of the drama between me and Joseph. I've I I think that the drama with the Drunken Peasants and the Drunken Peasants fans should be about the Drunken Peasants and the Drunken Peasants fans, not anything that has to do with me, if that makes any sense. So that was Joseph's second strike, no, third strike in my book. The Everything that happened around Christmas was just like, I was just done. And Christmas, the day after Christmas, was when I came up with the idea that I didn't want to have anything to do with Joseph anymore. And I knew that announcing that publicly would just add fuel to the fire. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna attempt to just stop talking about him completely for no apparent reason starting on the 1st. And it didn't work because he was just so fucking consistent about being just the way he is that it just baited me into talking about him more, which I didn't want to do. So I'm just tired of it. I feel like the negativity of the drama is one of the reasons why I have such a hard time with my day-to-day life. It's just this stuff weighs down on my mind, and it makes it hard for me to focus on living my life. Like, I go out to like go grocery shopping or just go for a walk, and all I think about is this stupid is all this stupid shit that I have going on with this drama crap, and you know, and then my personal stuff like the sex offender crap and the issues I'm having with my family and stuff like that. And it's just a lot of crap, and it's weighing down on me a little bit. And the only way that I can really think of getting rid of a lot of it is to just kind of chop the fat off. And I feel like if I could get away from this Joseph Martelli drama, and if people would actually allow me to do that, that maybe I could get a better hold of my shit. But um, it just seems like people aren't letting me do that, including Joseph. Um, he claims that he doesn't like people talking about him. He doesn't want people talking about him, but yet he doesn't give people the opportunity to walk away, because every single time somebody tries to walk away, he still fucking talks about them. So it's annoying, and I'm aggravated. Um, I'm tired all the time. I don't have any fucking food in the house or money in the house because I just internet crap has, you know, distracted me from doing my day shit. That's like one of the reasons why my apartment is such a mess, is just because I get so fucking stressed out about shit, both shit in the real world and shit online, that I just kind of don't want to do anything. I just kind of just sit and veg out and marathon watch stupid shit on Netflix instead of doing my dishes and shit. And it's just gotten to a point where it just feels like I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Robert04-30. 6Slob0 said you should start a Patreon. I do have a Patreon. Where was I? Yeah, so it's just like every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. And I it is frustrating to me. And um, I don't I don't know what to do. I mean, my apartment is such in disarray that I'd probably get I'm probably gonna end up getting evicted. Um, So what else was I going to talk about? Um, yeah, I have no interest in that Google Hangout thing. I'm just fucking um let's see if you go to my Dear 21st Century Man video in the comments section, there should be a link to my Patreon that another account that's from another account comment. Did you find out who was sending the mysterious packages? No, I don't know who sent it. Who's been sending shit to me? And to be honest with you, I really don't care. Um, I just wish that they would send more practical shit. You know, like instead of, you know, like a bunch of CDs that I ended up giving to Otto and, you know, stuff that I don't really need. Um, if people want to help me out, they can donate to my Patreon, patreon.com/Robert04330. Or send me practical shit like you want to send me a huge package. That would be funny to send me. Send me a huge giant box of Costco toilet paper, or send me a whole bunch of cleaning supplies and shit like that. Actually, you know what? I'll say it right here. Somebody sends me a big giant box of everything that I need to clean my kitchen. I will clean my whole entire kitchen on video. Um, or actually, you know what? I'll do a fucking live. I'll find a good place to put the camera, and I'll do a live stream of me cleaning my kitchen. um, let's see. Um, somebody if somebody really wants to help me, they can send me a big giant box of um, paper plates and dishes. Um, uh, don't send me don't send me shit that's just gonna add to the mass pile of shit that I have. Um, People want to help me, send me Wendy's gift cards. So that way I don't have to spend so much of my pocket money out of, getting food when I can't get to the soup kitchen. You know, um, who's my favorite YouTuber? I don't know. I'd have to say right now, it's a combination of the drunken peasants and Pod Awful. I mean, I like both of them pretty much the same. I've known I've known of the drunken peasants for a lot longer. Another fucking stupid Joseph Martelli video. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I still watch Raging Rob. He's been uploading a lot of like old stuff, like stuff from before I even knew he existed. Um, let's see. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Newscaster shot on live television. Um, that remember that thing where uh oh yeah, that's what it's called. The murder of Allison Parker and Adam Ward. Um, August 2015. Pretty much the first time that shooting where the news reporter and her cameraman get shot on live TV back in August of 2015. Um, August 2015 was the first time I ever saw anything by Raging Rob. I've never even heard of him that. Before that, before that, he uploaded a video talking about how that news reporter and her cameraman being shot was probably a false flag to get rid of guns and stuff like that. That was the first time I had ever heard of him. Um, I immediately, I immediately liked him though. Um, Comparatively speaking, Rob is he. I like him. I like. I don't like Joseph Martelli, um, because of his beliefs and stuff like that. But also, Joseph Martelli is an asshole, like a pure fucking asshole. Now, Raging Rob, he believes some of the same stuff that Joseph does, but for some reason, Raging Rob, he's just like I like him. I disagree with him, but I like him, and he did like Raging Rob. He's never gone out of his way to try to hurt me, you know, unlike Joseph has. So, you know, a lot of people go, "Oh, you just don't like Joseph he uh because he is religious and shit like that." I'm like, "No, it's Raging Rob is a nice he seems like a nice guy. He seems like somebody you could actually hang out with. Joseph doesn't. Joseph is shit, you know, and I don't dislike people who are religious. I mean, fuck, I mean, my best friend Otto is religious. He goes to church all the time. He'll come and he'll see me, you know, the same day he's been to church, and he's like in his church clothes, and you know, like it has absolutely nothing to do with that. You know, I like Raging Rob. I got very upset when people were trying to accuse him of being a mass shooter. You know, I tried helping him. You know, I tried helping. Uh, I tried helping that rumor get died down. I emailed Snopes telling them about it, but I think that they were already aware of it by the time that I emailed them about it. Um, but uh, you know, Raging Rob doesn't show up randomly in people's cities and try to find out where people work and call them and shit like that. So it's a completely different thing, you know, like and yeah, I admitted that I was trying to get that I've been trying to get the Drunken Peasants to play Raging Rob's videos, but that doesn't come from like a trying to get a hate mob against him. It just like Raging Rob, he makes good content, and I think that it would be funny and good for him and good for the Drunken Peasants for him for one of his videos to get played on the Drunken Peasants, because it would up it would up Rob's visibility. Maybe he would get all the he had a channel that had a lot of fucking subs on it, and he lost it because I guess, well, it was kind of his fault, but it, like I want Raging, like it'd be cool for me if Raging Rob was successful, because I like him and I want to see him. I want to see him successful. Um, and I think that the Drunken Peasants would like his content and like responding to his content, and I think that Raging Rob responding to the Drunken Peasants could be pretty entertaining, as long as he just didn't go too far with it, and as long as they didn't go too far with it, it'd be good for both of them. Um, uh, yeah, it's just Raging Rob's a cool guy, and I have a feeling that he wants to like me and wants to be friends with me, but it's kind of like this weird situation where people are afraid to be friends with me. Um, you know, um, like I never, I never know, I never know if people actually hate me or not. It's kind of a weird situation because if people, if if people who like me and interact with me in a positive way get treated like shit. So there's a lot of people out there who I I feel like they only talk shit about me because the alternative is to be treated like crap. You know, like my friend Otto, he gets treated like crap by a whole bunch of people because just simply because he's my friend. You know, it shouldn't be that way. Like people should have the right to choose to be friends with people, despite their problems. You know, so I wish people would leave Raging Rob alone. Um, if he chooses to be nice to me, you know. I mean, that's his fucking choice. You why be why be an asshole to somebody? You know, for being nice to somebody who other people aren't nice to, or whatever. What's the other thing? Oh, that Craigslist thing. That didn't nothing came of that Craigslist shit. like I put the ad up. I had a whole bunch of people contact me about it. I gave them a certain address, and pretty much the time came and went. It was like 3 fucking hours ago, and nothing came from it. Like I was expecting like a whole flash mob of people, and then a whole bunch of like angry phone calls and text messages, but like literally half the people backed out saying that they couldn't come, and then nothing happened. It just like I was hoping to get a whole bunch of angry voice messages that I could turn into a video, but I literally got nothing. So I got that idea from Pod Awful. Except for the way what they do is they put a Craigslist ad in the paper, and they get people to call them, and then he like talks. He'll like make up funny shit, and like it's like a reverse prank phone call. It's like they call him, and then he fucks with them. Um, so um, so what I can't really think of anything else to talk about. I don't have any real interest in. So once again, I have no interest in dealing with Joseph Martelli or going on any live stream about Joseph Martelli or anything like that. 21st Century Man actually left a comment on my other video, on the video that I made, saying that if I changed my mind to let him know, and I'm certainly not gonna be doing that. Oh, don't even get me started on that particular individual situation. I don't want to talk about that person. Um, so, um, I got 5 people watching me right now. That's cool. So now I'm just gonna do the Q&A thing. If anybody has a question for me, ask. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the stopwatch, and if nobody asks a question for me in 3 minutes, no, in 1 minute, starting now. No. Wait, I fucked that up. No. Okay, so people have to ask questions or I'm gonna stop the stream, pretty much. Are you gonna do more of those X-File parody videos? Shit was funny. Oh, do you mean that, like those that video I made of like the obviously fake UFO thing? I don't think I'm gonna make another one of those because that video literally took like 2 days for me to make, and it took like 2 days for me to make that UFO video, and it just didn't pay off the way that I hoped it did. Didn't get as many views as I was hoping it was gonna get. I don't even think it broke 1,000 views. It was just too much work for too little payoff. Let's see, the other video I made, like the fake sounds from heaven, like the horns, the horns from heaven video. That video actually got more views, but it got removed from fucking YouTube for being a hoax, which is stupid. Get this right. I make one video like that, a so-called hoax video, and it gets removed like within a day. But there are whole fucking channels like Third Phase of the Moon and Secure Team 10 and Street Cap 1 who their whole fucking channel is that, and they don't get their fucking channels terminated. But I make one fucking video like that, and the channel I put it on gets terminated. Thankfully, there was nothing else on the fucking channel. But, yeah, it didn't fucking pay off. It was too much work and it didn't pay off. If there was a way, if I could find a way to make the video a lot easier, I would do it. I would do it again. But it took hours for me to set up the tracking and make it so that way the spaceship came out from behind the other image. Like I had to film the video and then take a frame from the video and cut out the section of the roof, cut out the edge of where the top of the roof came out of, so that way it looked like it was coming out from behind the roof that was in the way. And it took like 2 fucking days to make that video, and it didn't pay off. if I could find an easier way to do it, I would do another one, but it was just shit. It was just 2 days of like because I obsessed about it, and it was not fun. It was not fun for me to do, and it didn't pay off. Six Slob Zero. Are you able to look for work since you have money issues? Nobody will hire me. Um, like I can't like places that like are notorious for hiring felons won't even hire me. Like I can't even like I applied for a job at like a canned redemption center and they wouldn't fucking work with me. So no, that isn't a possibility. Um, you know, but the can recycling center place told me that the reason why they weren't gonna hire me is because they hire felons and the other felons probably wouldn't get along with me because it's kind of a weird thing. Felons don't like other felons depending on why they're a felon. Like you know yeah. I don't want to work someplace where I'm gonna get treated like I'm you know back in jail. Like being working someplace with other felons would be like that prison yard mentality all over again, and I don't want to fucking deal with that anyways. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to spend 8 hours working someplace, being called a fucking child molester and a skinner and shit like that, and then get to come home to my, it's it's not it's not gonna I'm not gonna put myself in that type of position. I'd rather just be miserable. I'd rather just be miserable and poor than have to deal with those types of people again. In the real world, on the outside. All right. Um. They. You have to tell an employer. Uh. About your felony and shit like that, and it's not like I'm gonna get a job somewhere and walk in and say, hey, my name's Rob, registered sex offender. No, it doesn't work like that. Like a lot of people don't seem to understand this. People find out, like, you can do your best. You can do your best to just be like, to not tell people, and uh but people always find out because what will happen is you kind of get put into this weird situation where if people find out because you're either trying to pretend normal, as they call it, where you go to work and you just act like you're everybody else, and then slowly through time people figure out that you're hiding something, and then they go and they find out who you are. That's the first thing that happens, the first way that it could happen. um, the second way that it could happen is that you go to work and you're the guy who shows up, goes right straight to working without socializing with anybody, and then leaves without interacting with anybody. You don't talk to anybody during lunch and shit like that. And then they get suspicious of you, and then they find out that way. So it's kind of like you can't win. If you work someplace and you talk to a whole bunch of people, they eventually find out somehow, anyways. And if you avoid people, they find out. And another way that another way that people usually find out is that somebody who knows because they're part of the the hiring um, procedure will rat you out. You know, you'll have a job and you'll go to work and and then like the fucking boss's secretary will be talking shit about you and tell the wrong person, tell some other coworker of yours, and then that coworker will tell all the rest of the coworkers and shit like that. Um, you know, this doesn't fit me exactly, but uh, do you guys have Netflix? Um, if you have Netflix, go on to Netflix and go into the search column and search for a movie called The Woodsman and watch that. It's Kevin Bacon, The Woodsman. Watch that movie. It doesn't fit me exactly, but there's stuff in there that kind of, if you watch that, you might understand my life a little bit more. Um, because first of all, because first of all, it will show you just kind of the way having a job under those circumstances would be. Also, it kind of gives you insight a little bit of how we interact with each other a little bit, how we feel about each other. Meaning, um, uh, so yeah, it's a good movie. It'll give you insight kind of on other people in that situation too. Um, if you can find the extended edition, like on DVD or Blu-ray, I'd suggest watching that. That's that's the that is that is the first movie that you should watch to kind of understand me a little bit more. And that's on Netflix. I'll show you the other movie. This one you might have to actually buy because it's a more independent movie. Oh, it's called Another Earth. Uh, this one is kind of related to my life a little bit. Um, I can't even really explain the connection to my life, uh, or how, how this kind of relates to my struggle in life a little bit. Um, This you won't be able to get on Netflix. This is something that you might actually have to um, buy or find a torrent of. But just watch it, and maybe you'll understand me a little bit better after watching it. Sorry, something popped up while the stream was going on, and it like really fucking pissed me off. And I don't want to. I'm not gonna talk about it though. Uh, but all right. Ask another question, or I'm stopping. I'll give you a little bit because I know that there's like a delay. If I don't get a question by the time this hits 1 hour of broadcasting, I'm just gonna stop. It's at 57 right now, so. Alright, goodbye, Slob60. So, the only other person in here apparently is going to be Mario Expo, whatever. So, if he doesn't ask a question in like a minute and a half, I'm done. Guess the only other person watching is 1 minute. Fuck off.